Throughout human history, humans have always used technology to improve both our own lives and the lives of the people around us. Everything we ever knew was passed down orally. But then, reading and writing was an innovation to consolidate the process of relaying information faster. Then, we invented the printing press, and that made that process even faster. We invented YouTube. I say we because it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I helped invent YouTube. Now, AI is just the latest and most advanced iteration of this pattern of innovating the consolidation and distribution of information. My guy Joe Rogan just last week expressed AI is a very slippery path. But I think even he knows that it's just a technology. You could say the internet as a whole has had a positive impact on society, but at the very same time, we know that the dark web exists and that there's an entire industry of human trafficking. So is that technology actually good, or do you just find life without it inconvenient? Here's my argument. Technology is inherently neutral, and it always will be. There's no combination of wires and electrical signals that has the capability of becoming a moral evil. It's just rocks and physics. Even at the very beginning of the human race, Cain picked up a rock and killed Abel. The problem isn't AI. We've been using rocks as tools to either help us or to hurt others for a really long time. And AI doesn't change that fact. We just have the tendency to do what we know is wrong. So the scary part comes in when you look at AI and realize that it's a really, really big rock. What will the future of YouTube look like with these advancements of AI technology? To understand the future of this platform, we must first know these two measurements. Where did we come from? And where are we right now? YouTube is boasting about 2 billion active users on this platform.
That is a lot of people, King Julian.
But let's break it down even further. How many of these 2 billion people are actually creators, and how many are just people who watch YouTube? There are currently over 51 million accounts on YouTube that have over 1,000 subscribers. But 51 million accounts is still only 1.5% of the total 2 billion active users on YouTube. And that isn't even taking into account the fact that some of these accounts are from like 10 or 15 years ago from people who don't even post anymore. That means 1.5% of YouTube accounts gets to entertain for the other 98.5% of them. This is why being successful on YouTube can be so life-changing, but so few actually pull it off. Now, as impressive as a number that 2 billion is, what's more interesting is why this number is so low. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and about 5 billion of them have access to the internet. So essentially, of those 5 billion users of the internet, 2 billion of them are active on YouTube. So about 40% use YouTube. But with this information, what this also means is that there's 3 billion people on the planet who aren't on the internet. People like Mark Zuckerberg are making it their life mission to, over the next couple of years, bring those 3 billion people onto the internet. If we followed this statistic of 40% of internet users use YouTube actively, that means of the 3 billion people that Mark Zuckerberg will bring over the next 5 to 10 years, 1.2 billion people who have never been before will be joining the YouTube platform. That's more than half of what we have already. That's a lot of potential new eyeballs coming to this platform. So what we can also do is infer that probably that 1.5% statistic is going to remain true with the new group of accounts coming to YouTube. So we'll see probably an additional 16 million, join this creator circle, which is still a relatively low number compared to the 3.2 billion active new YouTube peoples, or 6.4 billion eyeballs. That was an eyeball joke. Here's what I think we'll see a huge shift in. Currently, AI is allowing us to auto-translate captions instantly on various types of videos. This means you could watch an English, business or tech review video with Spanish subtitles. But this is barely the tip of the iceberg. As we've seen with the hyper-realistic Joe Rogan podcast, AI dub thing, and one of my guilty pleasures, the US president's playing Wii Sports.
Kablamo! Yeah, that shit is definitely flying over the edge.
Let's go.
AI dubbing is becoming streamlined. Currently, only 15% of the world speaks the English language. So what happens when the whole world is using the same platform, instead of just auto-captioning, can auto-translate and overdub with these AI voices instantly for free in any language. I don't think you can understand how much of an increase your audience would be. Let's say you're a business content creator. So now your current English audience will be, yes, expanded by the factor of a 60% increase of the new YouTube users that come in, but also by 566% because now you have access to making business content for any language at scale. This is astronomical. These numbers are almost a joke. Mr. Beast is spending thousands of dollars creating all of these different YouTube channels in just like a few different languages, and paying professional actors to overdub his videos just to make them more accessible to a couple of other major languages. We might very soon be able to do this all within one master account without doing anything else other than just making content. This will be game changer because this technology already exists and we're already seeing auto-translated subtitles on the platform already. So we know YouTube is like very much looking at the auto-translating trend. So I think one of the surest paths to capitalizing on this opportunity is to be making a lot of content consistently, to be building your initial audience, and to get better at making content. So long as YouTube exists in the fashion that it does now, which it could change, it's actually still an amazing time to get started on YouTube because you are so early. So I think one of the surest paths to capitalizing on this opportunity is by creating a content machine. And you can kind of do this by making long form content consistently, so maybe once a week or once every other week, and then taking short form content from that and posting that as to get more views to your long form content. And it's kind of like this snowballing effect. People like Amon Gotsi or Andrew Tate are doing a really good job with their own content. When you really want to focus on the quality of your long form content though, it can be sometimes difficult because you might have to compromise on the quality of your long form in order to be putting out the consistency of the short form content. But then it's like, if the goal is to send more eyeballs to your long form content, it can just hurt your growth. There's this company, Way Better Studios. The owner is a buddy of mine, and he's worked with some pretty big name creators to create this content machine for them. I just wanted to share some of the love because this approach actually is like very important. So if you are looking to kind of like just focus on the quality of your long form content and then outsource the short form content, they have a really fast turnaround rate. And they've made it really easy for me to make short form content from the long form content that I'm already making. If you decide that you do want to check them out, just tell them that I sent you, shout out my name, and they'll set you up with a real solid deal. The link is in the description, waybetterstudios.com. So in the future, as we move to more Web3 technologies, YouTube is probably going to be the most accessible escape of the nefarious traps of the economy today, but not forever. So there's a really unique opportunity to get in now. But even greater than that, with the creator economy, it'll be essentially like the new decentralized global economy. You know, you've got big businesses that are backed by a creator. And soon with Web3, you'd be able to own your own audience rather than just owning the attention. So your audience on YouTube would cross over to, you know, Twitter or I guess X.com or Instagram. Like it would all be the same audience rather than having a separate following on each of these different platforms. That's kind of like with the new Web3 technologies that we're kind of working on. I say we because, you know, I helped. I told people about it on my YouTube channel. But this is all speculation. You know, what's real is that we know that AI is just going to be a very powerful cog in the YouTube wheel moving forward, and that we can probably anticipate a lot of growth on the platform. If attention is the new currency of the creator economy, learning how to collect it is probably a very valuable skill. So by making a commitment to post, you know, one long form piece of content a week, you'll be able to both learn the platform and how to get better at, you know, posting quality content, and also you'd be protecting yourself from really big rocks. So I don't think it's fair to automatically assume AI has like an evil connotation to it. It could be used to broadcast a message that could save the world. Or it can be used to automate some drones that like go in and explode people and kill people. I don't know. It's just rocks. Really impressive rocks. And it matters much more who's holding the rock. So the better question would be, how can I use this to help my family? And I don't want to overcomplicate anything, so I'll just kind of leave it at that. I'll be exploring this topic more, like in a deeper way, in another video to come. But until then, thanks for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you breathe air. If you don't, I have the feeling that you're probably not gonna, you know, stick around long enough to see my next video, so it doesn't really matter. I'm honored, actually, that you would choose to spend some of your last moments watching my video. I really hope it was worth it. Goodbye, friend.